So welcome back to another episode, and yes, the episode is called I've Never Shown These Items to Anybody, and that is the absolute truth. I had to get a big tote right here, and I pulled all these things out, and I'm like, nobody has ever seen these items, and they're so interesting, and they're such a part of my passion for video games, for anime, and movies, that I really want to show some of these. Some of them are extremely rare. And I also want to really say something here is that I'm showing these today, and this is not a bragging episode, like look at all the rare stuff I have. These, as I say, I've never shown them to anyone, is because they meant something to me personally, and that's why I bought all these things, not for bragging rights or anything like that. I've sat on most of these items for a long time, and it's the first time I'm showing them. And I'll ask you guys, what are some really rare, unusual items in your collection that you're super proud of? Maybe it's a signature or drawing, or some really crazy memorabilia from your favorite anime, movie, or video game. Let me know down below.
Show me everything.
And I'm gonna start off with a banger. This is one of my most treasured items that I own. Up there, I have a few, but this one really hits me in the feels, man. And as many of you know, one of my favorite animes when I was like 21 years old up to now, I discovered this anime called Otaku no Video, and it had such a huge effect on me as a fan, as an anime fan, and I saw myself in these characters. I'm like, I'm those guys, you know, like sitting in their basements watching anime, drawing all day. That was me, and so I could really relate to it. And that anime had such an effect on me. I gotta explain this, but I'm gonna show it right now. Here we are. Here is the item. It is a cell from the end of Otaku no Video, signed by the head of Gainax. Yeah, Toshio Okada. And he signed it Otaking. And I got shivers right now just from even talking about this. It even comes with the original background painting. This is the original painting. It's not a photocopy or anything like that. And this scene means so much to me. And it's a scene of at the end of Otaku no Video when they go to Otaku land. And it's all defunct and it's not working. They're older guys now. They were younger guys throughout the entire anime. And then everything starts to come to life. They go to the bridge and there's all of their friends, and then they take off their helmets, and this is the moment when they're about to take off their helmets and reclaim their youth, and they become young again. And it's such a powerful scene. I remember when I was 21 and I watched it, I was like, oh my god, I really feel this. This really, I can really relate to it quite a lot, and I loved it so much. And so, how did I get this? Okay, so Robert Woodhead, who is the head of Anime Ego, the crazy thing is, he put up, this is quite a few years ago now, a few cells of his own personal collection out there. And he put this up. And I sat on it and I was like, I'm not letting this go. And guess what? I only got it. It was $200. The best $200 I've ever spent in my life. And what he told me when he was doing the deal to get Otaku no Video and bring it out over here, the head of Gainax gave him this cell and signed it Otaking, and now I have it. And it's just kind of like bittersweet in a way that Gainax now, just the other day, went bankrupt and it's gone now. It's like, you know, the great company that did Gunbuster and Evangelion and all that great stuff is gone. And, you know, for me, this character here always reminds me of the head of Gainax. I mean, it's kind of loosely based on him. I'm absolutely sure about that. And to have a piece of classic anime, a classic piece of pop culture is wonderful. And I'm so lucky to have this item right here. Okay, so to top that, and I think I can top that. This is a really wild one. I've never shown this before, ever. This is, oh my god, this is a caricature of Leiji Matsumoto, drawn by Leiji Matsumoto, the legendary guy who created one of my favorite animes of all time, Galaxy Express 999. Unfortunately, he passed away, and I feel so lucky to have a drawing of himself that he did. And just wonderful stuff, signed in, like, I guess 2006 there. really amazing. And I first saw Galaxy Express 999 in, God, it was 1985. It was my birthday. And I think I was like 11 years old or something like that. And yeah, I saw Galaxy Express and I was like, this is insane. I'd never seen anything like that. It was so adult. It was scary. It really, as much as Star Wars changed my life, Galaxy Express changed my life. And I can't believe I own this. And I am such a fan of his work, and I feel very honored to have this. And so when I rented Galaxy Express 999 all those years ago in 1985, this was the box. This is the box right here on the the video shelf in my local video store. And look at it. I rented this based on this artwork. Like, you can't even tell what this is. They don't show any characters on the back. They show, I think, the Count Mecha's castle, and that's like it. And I was like, this looks like some anime thing, some Japanese show. I'm gonna rent it. And that's where I saw Galaxy Express, and I had to get, years ago, a beautiful VHS copy of what that original tape was that I actually saw back then and rented. And if you think that's crazy, here is a cell from Galaxy Express 999. Now, I don't know who it's signed by here. This is the interesting thing. Does anybody know who that's signed by? That's a mystery that I've never known. I picked this up off eBay, oh God, maybe 15 years ago, something like that. But unbelievable to have something like that of Mattel. And yeah, so amazing.
So I wasn't just imagining it then.
Okay, so yes, I'm looking at a bunch of cells here. And here we go, from one of my favorite animes, a Megazone cell. That's Shogo and Yuri on the back there. That's right in the beginning of Megazone 2-3 Part 1. And him giving her a lift to the evil studio where she would do the dancing and meet the terrible producer guy who would try to hit on her. But yeah, so glad to have a cell from Megazone.
Can I get your number?
And here is a cell from another favorite anime of mine, and that is from Ixer 1. And I think this is from Part 3. And this is the head of all the girls floating through space, trying to find a new world before they're taken over by Big Gold. And then she is taken over as well. It even comes with the original pencil drawing there, which I really, really appreciate. It doesn't have the background, but that's sometimes the way it goes, right? Okay, in the year 2000, I went to Anime Expo, and while I was there was a bin of cells. They were selling for like super cheap. It says 30 on it, but it wasn't 30. I got this for $5, and they didn't know what it was. It's actually one of the Bridge Girls. This is from Macross the movie. It's one of the Bridge Girls. I think they're out having cocktails or something, talking about things, and I think they thought this was some generic anime. They didn't realize it was from Macross the movie. And I saw it for like $5. I'm like, oh yes, I'll take that. Okay, here's a beautiful little cell. And for all of you who know the anime, you're very cool people. We're all waiting for a Blu-ray release. I don't know if we'll ever get it. Golden Boy. I have a cell from Golden Boy, the very first episode when he's mopping the floors and being as creepy as he is. And it even comes with the pencil drawing in there. And so pretty stoked to have this, because I love Golden Boy. Golden Boy, I would actually go on record and say it is the funniest anime that I've ever seen. It really is, and some of the humor is a little bit more adult and all of that, but it's really genuinely funny. It's one of those ones where I watch it and I laugh out loud, and I rarely do that with anime.
Excuse me, can I have your autograph?
Who's this?
Okay, this one's a little embarrassing, but you know what? It was embarrassing back in the day, but I was happy to get this because I'm an old school fan of the Gem cartoon, and I have one of the layout drawings for Gem right there. Before it went into it gets animated and stuff like that. They set up all the layouts. So I actually had a job doing layouts at one time as well. So I did this job, but I just thought it was kind of cool to have a piece of history. Well, I got so ridiculed back in the 80s for watching Gem.
Gem is my name, no one else is the same. Gem is my name, Gem.
Okay, I was very lucky to get this. Square Enix sent me this. And I just want to say a big thank you to them back in the day when Dragon Quest XI first came out. And because I wanted to fly down, and I was really asking them, saying, hey, can I come down? Because they had Yuji Horii there. Can I come down? I'd love to interview him for my show. And they're like, we'd love to help you. But they couldn't make it happen. But they sent me an autograph with his signature. This is from 2018 already. And Yuji Horii, and he drew a slime there. The creator of Dragon Quest. I mean, this really means a lot to me. I do have a Dragon Quest VI signed. I bought many years ago. But it's so nice of them to send me this. It really means a lot. Okay, so there's a couple of items here that I've shown before, but I will show again this Amano art book. I love this guy, man. Unbelievable. With Gatchaman and stuff like this. What's so great about this, though, is he signed it and drew a character in this art book. And this is what I picked up off eBay many years ago. So to have an original Amano drawing signature, the great man behind the Final Fantasy artwork. Yes, count me in. Very lucky to have that. And yes, you know it. I have to show it. My Kabuki drawing, once again, by Yoshiteru Tsujino. Unbelievable that he did this for me, and I'm still wrapping my head around it that I have this item. I'm like, I can't believe I have this. So yes, there's a couple of items here that I've shown before, but you know what? Some of these items are so amazing that I had to show it for sure. And I gotta show this again. This is a long time ago. Here we go. This awesome Pris drawing, I love the character Pris, from Bubblegum Crisis by Kenichi Sonata. When I saw him down at a convention and he did me this Pris, and I was like, I cannot believe I have a Pris drawing by like the greatest artist ever. I mean, all of these artists are some of the greatest artists ever, but for me, I grew up watching Bubblegum Crisis, so this really actually is something else to have. And this one is from 2012. The creator of Wonder Boy sent this to me. He had the artist draw this for my birthday. This is an original drawing. Isn't that crazy? Crazy stuff. I was like, oh, it's a print. I'm like, this is real. I'm like, this is signed. It's like hand done. I'm like, I thought it was a print at first. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Oh, here's one. I don't know if I've ever shown this. I don't think I've ever shown this. When I was down again at Anime Expo, I ran into he actually designed all the Angels for Evangelion. Yeah, seriously, he did. He designed a lot of them, at least. And he also worked on Wings of Honiamus. I've always called it Oniamus, and I'm wrong about that. So I'll just call it Royal Space Force. That's its other title. He worked on it. He was one of the main animators on it, main directors, I should say, and he did the main character for me. Look at that, for John-san. And he did the main character from Wings. Unbelievable. I ran into him the next day because we were drinking with him, and I ran into him and I'm like, oh, can you draw me like something from Wings? And he sat and did me that. I'm like, I can't, because Wings is, Royal Space Force is one of my favorite anime films of all time. I've done episodes on that, which is so wonderful. I couldn't believe that he did that for me, and I actually own that. That's nuts. And yes, I've shown this quite a few times. It just happens to be here in the pile. This drawing of Justin from Grandia, an original Justin. I'm just gonna throw it up there right close. I was drinking with the artist the night before at Anime Expo 2000, legendary now. I ran into him the next day, and he was nice enough to sit, and he worked on this for a while. He sat down and really worked on it. I feel really honored. When I look back now, that's 24 years ago, and Grandia really means something else to me. And so for me to have a drawing by the main character artist of Grandia is like impossible, and a treasure for me. And yeah, I've run into a few people over the years like, I can't believe you have that. I'm like, me too. It's like insanity.
All right, we won!
Okay, now we're going to go into some movie things and TV things that are quite wild that I own these things. And one of my favorites doctors from Doctor Who of all time is Tom Baker, and I have a couple of Tom Baker signed pictures here, which is everything. I grew up in the 70s and into the 80s watching Tom Baker. He's an unbelievable guy. Okay, guys, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. One of my favorite Schwarzenegger films, I have a lot of favorite Schwarzenegger films, but it's up there, is Commando. And I have the signed Commando by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, all of these, by the way, all of the signatures that are on here are all authenticized. They're all accounted for. And I got these a long time ago. I want to say I got these a really long time ago. So I got Schwarzenegger, one of my favorite directors of all time. I got my James Cameron here signed. Got to have a James Cameron signed. As I say, a lot of these are dusty. They've been in this one container for a long time. Big fan of directors. Terry Gilliam of Time Bandits fame. And, you know, I absolutely love Time Bandits. And I love the Adventures of Baron Munchausen as well. And I love Terry Gilliam's films. And Brazil. I almost forgot about Brazil. Love having that. Another director that I had to get, we got Ridley Scott here. Yes, I have all of the big guys. I went out of my way to get all of these a long time ago now. But I got my Ridley Scott on the set of Blade Runner.
Give me a hard copy right there.
And one of my favorite movies of all time, John Carpenter. I got John Carpenter on the set of Big Trouble, Little China. Up there is in my top 10 movies of all time. Thrilled to have that.
Feel kind of invincible. Me too.
Here's a big one that you won't believe, and this one I got triple checked. It's unbelievable that I have this. Are you ready for this? George Lucas and Steven Spielberg signed. I believe that's on the set of Indiana Jones. Very unreal. Very thrilled to have that kind of stuff. And as my final, this wasn't saved to be final, but I guess it is the final thing I'm going to show today. And this is a really cool one. It's two pieces. He didn't sign his actual picture, but I love this piece. And that is of John Williams. It's kind of, yeah, and don't worry, one day I'm going to dust this off and hang it up on the wall where it's destined to be. So really thrilled to have John Williams here. Yeah, that's a bit of a trip down memory lane, and it's also goes to show how absolutely crazy I am for some of these creators of some of the entertainments over the years. Like this stuff, I really fanboy out. Like I get so excited. Like even when I was getting that drawing of Pris, like Kenichi Sonata at the convention, watching him sign, you know, like draw it for me and sign it, I was like, I felt like a 10-year-old boy. It was like, oh, you know, like, how is that for you guys? What kind of like rare stuff do you guys have in your collections? Do you have a signature by somebody you love or drawing by somebody that you love? I would love to know what it is. So let me know down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.